Hey everyone, it's me, Tim, again. Today I want to talk to you about something really personal. And I always bring about on this channel how you either can be a victor or a victim in your experiences here on life, on earth, as a human being. And I want to share some examples in my own life where I chose to become a victor in my own life instead of a victim of my circumstances. And I grew up in a family of, my mom was very controlling, and she kind of wore her pants in my family, and she made the decisions for everybody in my family. And I was kind of the outcast, black sheep, whatever you want to label it, because I didn't just allow my mom to control me in the aspect of my life. I learned from this experience because I told myself, when I have children, I'll never ever try to control every aspect of their life. It's up to me as a parent to guide them, but not to live their life for them. Because they're a sovereign being too. Everybody is. And from my own experience growing up, with that sovereignty taken away from me, not being able to be myself without being punished in some sort of way, I learned not to do it to my own children. And I kept that promise true, even to this day. I've not ever tried to control my own children. Allow them to be who they are, give them a space to love, and they can always come to me whenever they want to, with anything. And it will never come back to haunt them that they did. It's up to me to try to humiliate them or to degrade them for situations they are going through in life. We all are learning as we are going through our experiences here in life. I need to create that space for them to grow up in that I wasn't given when I was growing up. There's many instances when I wanted to run away from my own situations at home. I couldn't wait till I turned 18 and went to college so I could escape the situations that I was going through at home so I could actually be who I really was. So put on a show to appease, especially my mom, to appease her that I was who she wanted me to be, so who I actually was. Because anytime I stepped out of that limelight of her trying to be who she thought I was, so who I really was, it caused chaos. And that chaos ended up hurting me deeply in many ways, not only emotionally, physically too, because I was punished for it severely. I wanted to get away from that. I didn't want to bring my children to that type of situation. So I promised myself from there on out, if I ever had kids, I never would ever control them like I was controlled. Allow them to be who they were. I would encourage them to be that person. I would give them the encouragement and strength and guidance to be that person, and create a safe place for them to be that person. Then the issue was when I got the opportunity to have my own family, I didn't do the proper inner work of myself yet at that time. I was still coming out of my situation, but I didn't know how to be who I am today. I am who I am today because of the work I've done on myself. But back then, in my late teens, early 20s, coming into adulthood, I didn't know what that was. I was also trying to find myself. I started trying to find out what it is to be adult. Transitioning from being a child to being an adult, that's a hard challenge for anybody to go through. Not knowing what life will be before you as an adult, how it will be, and how it will turn out. Because I knew what not to be, but I was slowly discovering what to be, because I knew I didn't want to be anything like my mom, especially. My dad was a fucking coward. He was. He's a simp. He just did whatever my mom told him to do. He never thought outside himself besides that. Just being real honest here. And that was really discouraging to me as a man, because I didn't have a man to look up to. My father was not a man at the time. He was a coward. Men are traditionally not cowards. They are supposed to be leaders of their household. They're supposed to set forth the way the family should be structured, it should set the groundwork that family should build off of. My dad did not do that. Even to this day, I don't think my dad knows how to. Because he's never shown me otherwise. I wish he did, Because I would really love that if I had a dad I could look up to, that could be a role model in my own life. I never really saw that. Even when I watched TV, it's all situation comedies. How am I supposed to draw a father figure out of those type of shows, you know what I mean? There wasn't any really strong role model in my life that I could look up to. And so when I got to have my own family, I attracted a narcissist as a partner. It's the same person that my mom was. I did it unconsciously because that part of that wounded side of me attracted that person in my life. I had to take ownership of that so I didn't repeat that cycle again. And my second wife is not like that. But it still wasn't what I wanted because, I didn't want someone that was like my first wife who was very controlling, and she was never diagnosed as being narcissistic, but she was diagnosed by being bipolar, which didn't help the situation either, having that mental disorder. And to this day, she's not really honest about that with people in her life because she's trying to escape that. It's not very fair to my own kids that she's not being true to herself along to not being true to my kids about this, because they need to be aware of why she is the way she is, how she swings from one side to another, not very stable. She tries to hide it, tries to keep it behind closed doors. She tries to be normal when she's outside of that gate. And I think she might even use work as escapism for that, because at least at work she can concentrate on something besides herself. I think she uses work as a way of escaping. But I'm not in her life now. It's been years, but this is how it was when I was married to her. And it wasn't fair to me, it wasn't fair to my kids, but I did choose to marry her. I do take responsibility for that. And to my kids, I'm sorry for that. That did not take the time to get to know myself first before I got married. And I brought my kids in that situation because they had to face their mom the way I had to face my own mom. And I know how it affected me emotionally, physically, and mentally. I'm so sorry I had to put my own kids through that. But it is what it is. And hopefully they are going to draw strength from that experience too and become a really great adult. And if they choose to have kids, great parents along the way. But I did the best I could. Even though I got divorced from my first wife, she still tries to control me. After we divorced, I still have problems seeing my own kids because she doesn't want me to be part of my kids' life. She even told my first wife that her and Jesse have made a plan till they're 18 to keep me away from my own kids. And it's been a struggle, especially after becoming disabled after having a stroke. And before my stroke, I had to run all over the place, not the meet sites, mind you, that were designated. They would drag me all over the place to have me see my kids. I would drive hours out of my way to see my kids. That's just the type of stuff that was going on to discourage me from seeing my own kids. But since I'm disabled, I cannot drive. I have a hard time seeing my kids. I haven't seen my kids in years. I haven't even talked to them on the phone. She's blocked me. I can't even call my kids up. I don't have that freedom. I haven't had that freedom for years. And I have people that have witnesses. She'll talk for them. Some of my kids will talk for my kids. She won't allow them to talk with me. And last time I heard from my daughter, it was a pre-recorded message, and it was very controlled by their mom. It wasn't my true daughter. I know who my true daughter is because when I talk to my daughter, it's her. I know the difference between mother of my kids and my daughter. There's a strong difference between the two and how they interact with me. And the last message I got from my daughter was controlled by her, their mother. And it was not very fair to my daughter. It wasn't fair to me. I haven't heard from my son in a while. I don't know what's going on in her life. I don't know if they're doing well or not. Last I heard from Samantha is that my son is going to U of M for college, which is really great. I think that's great. But when I asked for an update for my daughter, I did not receive one at all. I wonder why. Because she knows that my daughter favors me over her. That hurts her deeply because being for that narcissistic personality disorder that she has, She cannot accept the fact that someone doesn't like her. Because for her, she's perfect, right? Nothing could go wrong and be different from that. That's why I'm a life coach. It's through these situations. I don't want to see other people go through situations like I have. I've gone through some horrible situations in my own life to become the person I am today. I chose to be a victor of my own life instead of a victim of my own life, despite the circumstances I've gone through in my own life. Well, hopefully this little message helps somebody. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments down below. I'll try to maybe make additional videos if you want me to. Send me off of this video. But I do love you all a lot, and I will talk to you in the next video. I love you a lot. Bye.